An epic of a shorty. A couple of days ago, I opened Reddit and found someone inviting me to answer questions. I thought to myself, wow, I have fans on Reddit too. Then I saw the question they invited me to answer, and I wanted to go buy a kitchen knife. She asked me, what does it feel like to be a shorty? As a shorty who is less than 5 feet tall, someone might ask, hey, didn't you previously claim to be 5 feet 1 inch? When I'm this short, can you not just take my word for it? When I'm angry, I grow 6 inches, believe it or not, because I want to stand on my toes and hit you. What does it feel like to be a shorty? 1. The 3 words that summarize a shorty's life are can't reach. For example, I wanted to buy Playboy, but the magazines were all placed on the top shelf. I had to ask someone to help me get one, and he was shocked. You want this book? Are you sure? What's the meaning? Do shorties not deserve to read adult magazines? 2. The other day when I flew to New York, the plane landed, but I couldn't get my luggage. I asked a tall guy to help me get it, and he was very enthusiastic, helping me lift the suitcase down, and the suitcase happened to hit my nose, and I heard the sound of my nose breaking. Luckily, it didn't really break. It probably just cracked and then healed. I said thank you to him, and he said, I'm sorry to me. I was in tears partly from the pain and partly from being too short to reach my luggage and from anger. 3. Another key word for a shorty is mindsully. When I used to work in a newspaper office, our office was the standard cubicle type. Once, my boss sent me a text message asking, why are you absent from work? I replied, I'm not. He said, not yet. I've been a few times, and there's no one in your seat. I said, I'm here. He came over and saw and understood. Oh, you're too short. You can't be seen from the outside. Damn. I raised my seat by 1 foot, and my boss could finally see me. 4. Last week, I accidentally stepped on the foot of a tall guy in line to buy food. I was about to apologize, and the guy turned his head, looked ahead, looked left and right, with a puzzled look on his face, and said, damn, that's weird, and then turned away, because it was crowded at the time, and I was sandwiched between tall people. When he looked back, the people behind me were chatting, and it didn't seem like I had stepped on him. He felt like he had seen a ghost. 5. When I was in college, I once moved a particularly large box taller than me. It was dark at night, and a girl ran past screaming, telling her companion, oh my God, that box can walk. 6. Someone said that shorties have a nickname, Plant Man and Plant Girl, because we are at the bottom of the crowd, inhaling the carbon dioxide exhaled by others. Damn, inhaling carbon dioxide is already high-end. When taking the bus or subway, my nose is at the same height as other people's armpits. So you know what we inhale is body odor. It's refreshing. 7. Being short not only means bad air, but also poor lighting. When the bus is crowded, if I'm squeezed in the middle, suddenly the sky goes dark. Someone on Reddit said, being short is like wanting to buy a car. 8. Speaking of buying a car, when I was in school, I said I wanted to learn to drive, and my friend said, you driving? Are you sure? I said, what? Worried about my safety? My friend said, no, I'm worried about other people's safety. Think about it, you're driving on the road. People passing by think your car is autonomous, get scared because of a traffic accident. What do we do? Another short friend comforted me saying, it's actually not that. It's just that it's very difficult for us shorties to reach the brake pedal. We have to stretch our legs forward and keep our toes straight. Oh my God, is this driving a car or ballet? She added, you also need to buy a few seat cushions so you can see the cars in front of you. Life is really tough. 9. Always at the front of the line, even for taking photos. Sometimes when taking pictures, the first row has to squat, right? I also squatted very consciously, and my friends considerately said, you don't need to squat, standing doesn't block us anyway. 10. Speaking of taking photos, there was a time when that age testing app was popular. My friends and I took the test, they got 28, 39, and I got 8 years old. I was so happy. I looked so young. My friend said, don't you think it's because of your height? If everyone's heads could be connected in a straight line, there would be a depression where I was. 11. Speaking of the depression, I remember something. When I was in elementary school, I rehearsed a dance, and I practiced well, but the next day was the performance, and the teacher pulled me aside and said, you might as well not dance. I was very aggrieved. Why? The teacher said, look, You 8 girls looking over, the others are half a head taller than you. It looks like 7 Snow Whites and a dwarf. 12. When The Hobbit was released, my friends asked me, why don't you go watch it? I only replied with one sentence, and they shut up. I don't want to watch my autobiography. 13. As a perverted shorty, when I buy shoes, I don't look at the style, I just look at how high the heels are. Before going out, I open the shoe cabinet and have a height competition among the shoes. Whoever has the highest heels. I wear them. Truth be told, I've never worn shoes with heels less than 10 centimeters. 14. Many people say that wearing high heels is uncomfortable. That's because you're not short enough. When you're as short as me, high heels are already a part of me. I can wear high heels to climb mountains or run, by the way. My sneakers are also high-heeled. Once, I went to see a guy I had admired for years, wearing the new high-heeled shoes I had just bought, very discreet ones. I felt so great. Then in front of the guy, I fell down beautifully. 15. You think high-heeled sneakers are already fancy enough, right? Should I tell you that there are high-heeled slippers in this world? 16. Do you know what kind of restaurant I am most afraid of? Authentic Japanese restaurants. Why? Because you have to take off your shoes. The moment you take off your shoes, the world changes, and the friends around you instantly become giants. 17. Do you know why I hate bars? Bars always have those high stools, they look very cool. But I can't get up there. It often takes a lot of effort to climb up, and when I finally sit down, both legs are hanging in the air, swaying back and forth. My friends laughed and loudly announced, "Wow, I know you're like that, very famous." A kind of dog. That's right, you're like a corgi. 18. Basically, there are no people shorter than me in human society above the 4th grade of elementary school. The most humiliating time in my life? This is my ultimate privacy. You must promise me, don't tell anyone. The most humiliating thing is that once I went to a rural farmhouse to play, and the host's big yellow dog, when it stood up, was actually taller than me. Taller than me? When I was in my 20s, I was still wearing children's clothes and shoes. I don't want to talk about it. A few days ago, I felt interested and tried on my 7-year-old son's jeans. Oh my God, I could wear his pants. The length was just right. 20. Buying clothes is really painful. Every time I try on clothes, those medium-length ones, everything seems fine, except that the bottom is missing a leg. Others wear capris, I wear just right. Others wear miniskirts, I wear long skirts. Others wear long skirts, I wear a mop, long enough to drag on the ground. 21. The most embarrassing moment in life is when giving a speech on stage, going to use that floor-standing microphone. It's my turn, and I have to keep lowering and lowering for a long time before I can reach it. Also getting an x-ray every time I stand on it. The machine lowers a lot. 22. The most feared thing is the physical examination, where they measure your height. It is said that when you take a deep breath, you can measure 1 or 2 centimeters taller. Once I took a breath so hard I almost choked. Once during a physical examination, I begged the uncle measuring my height, could I not take off my shoes? The uncle kindly said, "Are you afraid you're too short? It's okay." 23. Being short also has its advantages, such as seeing those mind your head signs on the street with no pressure. 24. Another advantage of being short is that I don't have to hold the umbrella when it rains, because when I hold the umbrella, I often accidentally poke my tall friend's hair. 25. The happiest thing in life is when I asked a very handsome guy, who is 6 feet 3 inches tall, guess how tall I am. He said, "You should be 5 feet 5 inches, right?" Oh my God, I was so happy. I want to make this day my 2nd birthday. 26. I firmly refuse to learn to swim because I can't be in the children's pool at over 30 years old. Can I? The adult pool is always 1 meter 6, 1 meter 7 deep. I'll drown, okay? When I was in middle school, a colleague of my mom's looked down at me, very worried, and said to my mom, "Oh my God, your daughter is so short, it will be difficult for her to find a boyfriend in the future." Okay? What does it feel like to be short? It's like, God, give me another 5 inches, and I can conquer the universe. I often think if only I were a little taller. I often dream of waking up and being 5 feet 5 inches tall, if not 5 feet 3 inches would do. But I have to tell the truth. Shorties, wake up. Is your height really the biggest problem in your life? Will your life be perfect if you grow 3 inches taller? Will you find the job you want? The partner you like? It sounds as if you don't have to do anything. Just grow 3 inches taller and you'll become a hot commodity. Don't use being short as an excuse to be lazy. Think of me. I really need to comfort you. Being short is nothing. I'm also fat. Being fat is nothing. I'm also old. Being old is nothing. I'm also ugly. For a loser like me who has 1,000 shortcomings, isn't it strong and happy to live? You humans who only have one shortcoming, don't pity yourselves in front of me. You're weak. They say shorties find it hard to make friends. Bullshit. I have lots of friends. They say shorties are easily laughed at. Bullshit. It's not easy to be laughed at, it's being laughed at every moment. Just now, my colleagues, the 6-footers, do you know what they're buying? Insoles for height increase. They say they want to experience what it feels like to be taller. So don't let others laugh at you. Shutting others up is never as good as making yourself stronger. When your strengths are prominent enough, your shortness is really not a problem. Seriously, I have so many flaws, but I also have family, colleagues, and friends who treat me sincerely. I often think that the reason God gives humans some flaws is to eliminate those who don't love you enough.